figure out how to target those different markets.
To target for programs, for book purchases?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
Everything possible. And it can also come in very handy when you're doing things like planning for buildings or book drops on other locations, you know, any kind of remote site, a bookmobile, because you can have things like the scatter plot that's on page 84 that shows where the people who are using your library are coming from, so that you can see, and it's got the nice little red line that shows it can show your district. It can also show drive times for you, which is very interesting to be able to see how far are these people really from your library.
Are you having to wait for the train or not?
Well, that's a whole other set of issues, and I'm not sure how they reflect that in the map.
I'm sure it figures into drive time.
I'm certain it does.
My GPS has started accommodating it.
Oh.
Plan for.
Train delay.
Well, at least it's accurate.
Are there any other companies that offer this type of reporting, or?
Not at this time, for what reason.
They're,
They are the first.
Now, this is through Amazon.com, the data originally?
Oh, the data actually comes from a company called Alteryx. It is on, toward the back somewhere. There is a piece on the security. That's on page 154. The Alteryx Analytics Gallery. Alteryx is one of those big data companies. This is what they do. They gather data, market data. And this is kind of their standard way of providing that information to their customers through Amazon Web Services, using that cloud computing service, so that the data is compressed and it's in a proprietary format, so that you cannot, even if you were to be able to grab the file during its transfer, it would be encoded in such a way that it is not in a usable format.
Because I know that was one of my concerns as I looked through this, the security factor, so that again, that information is not going to be accessible to others. We have 4 different plans they've provided: single report, basic, premium, which they say is recommended, and premium plus. However, I see that you have recommended premium plus. So would you like to tell us the differences
and
why?
since I've done that, I've finally gotten my answer back from Liz, their representative, about the different pricing. Okay, the premium is for 2 apps. What we're looking for first is the patron profiles and the collection intelligence. So that is your people and your collection, and bringing those data sets together. So the one app would be patron profiles, the second app would be collection intelligence.
Okay.
Now they also have what they call custom apps, and that's bringing in different data sets that are available to the library and merging those with the Alteryx data, with the information that you have about your patrons and your collections that is provided through our integrated library system software, so through Polaris, and merging that data to give you a custom report. And that can be done with things. One of the ones I'm interested in looking at is it possible to use a GIS shape file and get back residential addresses within our district to update our mailing list, which has been a bugaboo for us all along. So far, we have to use, our main way of doing that is by the property tax database, which is by the taxpayer address, not by the property's residential address. And they have, to date, the county has been unable to give us that information. And so the cheapest we've ever gotten a quote for actually doing that kind of work was over $10,000, which is why we haven't done it.
Yeah.
So this is an opportunity for that. If we cannot do that, there are opportunities. Some other libraries have used this along with their voter registration data that you can get from the county to show how many of your registered voters are actually library users. Where are they located? What are their patrons' profiles? So I would like to be able to do at least one custom app. Now, we don't have to decide that today because I did find out from Liz after the fact that if we wanted to move from Premium to Premium Plus, add a custom app, we can do that at any time just for the price difference.
And the price difference, as you see, is
Is
$3,200 versus $4,800
Yes,
at
so
this
Right.
time, between the two
37.
plans.
37,
That's why I gotta take my glasses off. I can't read with them on, and I can't see with them off, so.
So
You
this
will excuse me.
can import data from all different systems, it has that compatibility to do
Yes, you,
But then cross-reference it with our data.
with cross-reference,
yes,
yeah.
Right.
yes, so
But it still has
so
to
we
import
get,
it.
yeah, so what we do is we get that data from the ILS in a data file that is kind of a generic
Yeah.
kind of data file. We upload it to this cloud server
To here.
where Alteryx's data is also, and they
Integrate.
smoosh it all together and shoot you back a report. The report is encrypted, so the software that is resident on my computer as a subscriber will then decode it so that it is actually a usable report when it comes to me.
And each app is $1,600, is that what it says in the bottom?
Each
Beyond the first
additional,
one.
yes,
First one is 1,100, because that's the
Yes.
price difference.
Right. Okay.
yes.
I see.
And then beyond that, if you want to add app 4, 5, and 6,
Okay.
they're $1,600 each. So they give you a price break for adding number 3.
Since
So
we're on the,
Excuse me.
I didn't hear you begin.
No, that's okay. So that, would they provide all the support and everything if the data doesn't come over?
Yes. And because this is a very new product for Gale Cengage, they are very interested in being very good
Fantastic.
partners with their early adopters
Right.
so that they are getting very good press out there in the library world and good testimonials that they can use and good examples of how people and libraries use this data to improve their services and to make a difference to their community.
Will the
So if we
price
provide them
annually
that,
go-
right?
will the price go up every year? Does it will they keep the same price?
More than likely it'll go up
Yeah.
every year.
But this would be assumed to be
Yes.
an ongoing yearly cost then,
It
to
could
be able to continue to explore this kind of data.
Or if we find that we don't think we use it,
Well, right.
$5,000 worth, then we don't subscribe again next year.
So you can subscribe
For
every
one-
2 years, every 3
exactly.
years, or whenever you feel the need.
You can do it in conjunction with the long-range planning process, that sort of thing.
Which you brought up, our strategic plan expires as of next June. We really need to look at it. So this would certainly be an asset in our looking at that.
Absolutely.
Do you have any indication of how often they refresh their data?
Their data is refreshed almost daily.
It is, okay.
They are, that big data is wonderful that
Mhm.
they've got. And during the year, we can upload a new file of our ILS data as frequently as we want. And we can run a new report as frequently as you want to.
It
So,
does say unlimited.
yeah, so you could run it every week or every
Right,
month.
but if they're only updating quarterly.
Right.
So you say they're pretty much live data
Mhm.
with what they're
Pretty
providing?
much.
Excellent.
So since we're gonna be like a test market here, you can get it one app for free.
Frankly, this price was much, much lower than I expected it to be. Having,
Yeah,
knowing
What our
what,
databases cost.
knowing
I
what,
was shocked.
what Gale
Yeah.
Cengage
Yeah.
and some of our other database providers charge for databases, this is an expensive. And,
It would be-
and knowing what the village paid for their Buxton study,
And this is within our budget.
yes. And this, last month when we passed the working budget update, we had put some money aside in the contingency, and I had made a note that we would like to think about using it for the analytics on demand. And at that time, we didn't have any idea what the price tag would be. This is well under what we had set aside, yes. Kids set aside $25,000.
Yeah, I thought that was a significantly larger amount than what's coming out here, so that's great.
So are we
Is
ready to?
this, I'm sorry, is this a user license where you would have designated people who would be able to run this, or is this
Yes.
solely locally located? How is it?
It is a user license, but as long as we're not running a report at the exact same time,
Mhm.
I can do it. Kelly in the reference department can run
Okay.
one. Lisa
Okay.
can run one.
Great.
So learning
And
curve
they-
is-
Yes, and there is training included, and they will train as many of your staff as you would like to be trained on it. And Lisa's excited.
But I think in light of what we've got coming up over the next year, year and a half, 3 years, this is something that could be really helpful
Really
in
valuable.
helping us make good decisions.
I'll be posting all sorts of crazy reports to the board secured site for you all.
Excellent.
Any other questions?
And if you're more comfortable doing just the premium for now, until I can investigate further on what is possible for the custom app, then we could just add that. I can just add that later on because the cost differential is within my spending threshold. So wherever your comfort level is, and then if I don't like what they're telling me about the custom app I would like to have, then maybe we won't do a custom app.
So maybe we do an amount not to exceed
Sure.
recommendation.
Okay,
Would you appreciate that?
yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. So, I will entertain a motion for us to approve this particular purchase with a ceiling of not to exceed, I don't know if we should do that or just 5,000, we could round it off.
Okay,
$5,000?
So moved.
Is there a second? Thank you. Are we ready for the question?
all right, Vicki,
Yes.
Samantha, Crystal, Pat,
Yes.
Carl.
Yes.
Motion passed. Excellent. Oh, goodness. Okay, we need to have an audit of the secretary's minutes for the previous year, which involves having 2 board members who would examine the minutes and make certain that they are in proper form, that they have signatures, et cetera,
Who was there, a motion and a second, an actual vote for all the action items. Just basically reading through the minutes and making sure they're complete.
So I entertain volunteers.
Oh, I did it last year and I survived. I'll do it again.
All right.
Very good, thank you to both of you.
Stunningly exciting.
It has to be done before the next meeting, correct?
Yes. So that we have all of our signed pieces ready to go before September 1st so that the completed Illinois Public Library Annual Report, otherwise known as submitted on time.
And generally speaking, we've just done here.
Yeah, and Julie's talking, so
So-
you and I can get together with Julie and figure out a time.
Right, it would be best. Okay, next.
Deb's already
The
pulled them all,
information.
has it all set up, it's in the drawer and ready
It's
to
in your
go.
call
and we'll
Okay.
Each of you received a copy of the request for the proposal, the electronic sign specifications. You know, we talked about having that ready, so Lance, I think, prepared this. And I think it's the same as what was emailed to you, so
Yes.
if you had an opportunity to read it, I don't think there are any changes in it.
And we did decide not to include the design that was done as part of our preliminary planning to see where our costs would come, whether or not we needed to go to public bid, because Lance and I decided we'd like to see what the sign companies come up with. And then, once the costs are in, as far as the size itself, then we can negotiate the fine points of the design itself.
That makes sense.
Now, is
And
there
this-
action required on this proposal?
Just to approve the RFP to be placed for public bid.
Okay, I would entertain a motion that this be accepted.
Second.
I don't have a motion yet.
Oh,
You
oh,
already
I
have to-
thought-
You can move.
I thought you moved.
Oh, no, I said I would entertain one.
Oh.
So are you making a
I'll
motion?
move.
All right,
I'll
need a
second.
second?
Pick one.
Okay, pick one, yes. Do we need a roll call on
Nope.
this? There's no money per se.
Not yet.
So, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried.
And that will be published. We're anticipating putting it on the patch and having it go into, we hope, into the enterprise, inviting local sign companies to bid for this. And also, Lance will be contacting a number of sign companies directly that that are local or that we've received recommendations for.
Can we work with any,
Plainfield Signs, Signs by Tomorrow, and Great Signs, I believe, are the three local ones. And then there are two more that we received recommendations from other libraries in the suburban area that are kind of all around Chicagoland, and All-American Sign and some really strange name that begins with an H that I can't remember. But,
I guess none of us can help you.
yeah.
Evidently their strategy didn't work. A strange name that everyone
Strange,
will remember.
right?
Yes.
Exactly, exactly. Well, we hope we at least get 3 bids, minimum.
All right, yeah.
I find that as I'm driving around and I see these signs, I look at every one of them now to see
Yeah.
how tall are they,
How
you know,
tall,
what kind of.
how big, what kind
big,
of
what
light
kind of-
box do they have?
Exactly, exactly.
I was
So-
looking at the one, I went to the Chamber of Commerce luncheon today at Prairie Bluff Golf Course and was looking and said, oh yeah, that's right about the kind of sign. Now, it's got two different signs because it's got the regular Park District Prairie Bluff logo over the top, and then it's got the PJ Mulligan's restaurant one underneath of the light box itself. But overall, it's the same kind of flat top, plain light box with the LED that's the 4-line, and then a kind of a plain masonry base on it. I'm like, oh, that's it.
We should ask them what they use.
We have completed our action items. At this point, I would like to have us adjourn to executive session.
Motion to adjourn for executive session.
And that is under 5 ILCS 120/2C1, performance of a specific employee.
That's
And
what I
it
heard.
is an item for discussion only.
Yes.
So we will not be
So
coming out and
we-
taking any action.
We'll say, either you come back
Yeah, somebody
later
needs to
or.
move to go into executive
I
session.
We
moved.
did.
Okay.
Yes.
Excellent.
Okay, we are now in,
We need a second.
Into
Yes, we'll
executive.
get it to
Yeah,
you.
we're getting there.